What's going on, folks? JV Wins and Dogon SS are here once again. Conscious Approach, January the 21st. Back live and in effect to kick that logical content. Hope everybody is appreciating living life, notwithstanding the cold winter weather. As you can see, Dogon is bundled up. He's in the cold, dealing with the cold.
Arctic blast.
Right. I fortunately am not dealing with it as much. It is currently 72 degrees in Miami. So this is why cost of living in South Florida is going through the roof, because the snowbirds are migrating down here in droves to get away from the cold weather. And this is one of the few places left in this country where even in the dead of winter, in the middle of January, it's 72 degrees.
Beautiful.
So, go figure, man. But yeah, shouts out to everybody who's been kicking it with us. Shouts out to everybody who's been subscribing to the channel, leaving those comments, hitting that like button if you are so inclined. Thank you very much. We certainly appreciate the feedback as we continue to pump out this content each and every week, each and every day here on our little corner of the internet. Also want to say that if you like to catch us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Podcasts, we are now also available wherever you get your podcast fix. Just trying to be in as many places as possible. So if you can't check us out on YouTube, if you can't watch the video, but you want to check us out audio, if you in the gym, driving in the car, however, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. We certainly appreciate all the support. And if this is your first time catching wind of what we like to do here and you have not already done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a like if you like the commentary, or leave a like if you don't, because you don't necessarily have to like the video.
Yes, you do.
To like the video. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit of a double entendre, but you don't necessarily have to like the video to like the video. We put in a considerable amount of work, and we don't do it for money, because that's not what it's about. We're just trying to offer our unique perspectives on certain issues and subject matter going on in the world. So with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. First thing that we are going to do is we are going to discuss the backlash that Nelly has received after opting to perform at the Crypto Ball, which was the presidential ball commemorating, Trump being inaugurated in the office. He started his second term yesterday, which was January the 20th. And, every time a president is getting ready to begin his administration, his administrative term, there's a ball. And this was the crypto ball for Trump. There were people who elected to, they accepted the invite rather to perform. Snoop Dogg was one of them, Soulja Boy, Rick Ross, as well as Nelly. And all of them are receiving extraordinary amounts of backlash for their decision to do so. None more so than Nelly, I think. I think the other people are getting backlash, but Nelly is getting the most backlash. Followed second probably by Snoop, but Nelly is definitely number one. And Nelly's kind of doubled down on his decision to do so. He's not letting the noise and the haters out there deter him from his decision to perform at this thing. But that hasn't stopped the chorus of boos levied his way in response to his decision to perform. In Nelly's point of view, his decision to do so has less to do with politics and more to do with respect for the office. He holds the office of the president in high esteem, and he feels as though regardless of whoever is in office, it's an honor to be asked to perform at such an event. And so because of this belief that he has, he won't be smoked out of his hole. And he is doubled down, and he's offered a response to those who don't appreciate the fact that he chose to do so. So this says, Nelly says it's an honor to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration amid fan backlash. This isn't politics. Nelly wants fans to know that his decision to perform at the inauguration ball for President-elect Donald Trump has nothing to do with politics. The Grammy winner, who has faced backlash since announcing the news earlier this week, took to YouTube on Saturday night for a lengthy chat with fellow rapper Willie D, in which he defended his decision to participate in the January 20th festivities. I'm not political. I'm not here trying to tell anybody who they should vote for. This is not a campaign trail. This is not me telling you, yo, you should vote for this candidate. I think you should do your homework and figure out what's best for you and the people who you love and you provide for, because I'm clueless on a lot of things when it gets down to it. He continued, but what I will say is that I respect the office. This isn't politics. The politics for me is over. He won. He's the president. He's the commander in chief of what I would like to say is the best country in the world. The Hot in Here rapper went on to discuss his experience of being born on a military base in Austin, pointing out that he has multiple family members who served in the U.S. military throughout his lifetime. What does the military have to do with the inauguration? Willie D inquired. Nelly replied, if these people can give their life for the office, Nelly can perform. It is an honor for me to perform for the President of the United States, regardless of who is in office. He added, if President Biden would have asked me to perform, I would have performed. If Vice President Kamala Harris would have won and would have asked me to perform, I would have performed. The rapper then expressed disappointment in his fan base for criticizing his decision, arguing that his charitable actions throughout his career should reflect who he is, rather than a single performance. I didn't know that you was riding with me because you thought I would ride for who you voted for. I didn't know that I had to agree with your political choices. If you follow what I do, this shouldn't even be an argument. He continued, he's the president. He won. This isn't a campaign. This isn't the RNC. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because it's an honor. I respect the office. It don't matter who is in office. He added, performing for somebody and voting for somebody is two different things. When asked point blank if he considers himself a Trump supporter, Nelly reiterated his point, saying, I support the president of the United States, regardless of who is in office. Regardless, I respect the office. Nelly is the latest star to defend himself amid backlash for participating in the inauguration festivities. American Idol winner Carrie Underwood also faced criticism after announcing she would sing America the Beautiful for the ceremony. I love our country and am honored to have been asked to sing at the inauguration and to be a small part of this historic event. I am humbled to answer the call at a time when we must all come together in the spirit of unity and looking to the future. The Village People opera singer Christopher Macchio, singer-songwriter Lee Greenwood, Kid Rock, and Billy Ray Cyrus are also set to participate in the inauguration festivities. So I'm going to scroll down a little further just to read some of the criticisms. After it was revealed that Nelly would perform at the inaugural ball, many users took to X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, to voice their frustrations and disappointment. I'm beyond disgusted at Nelly, one individual said. I expect that clown tap dancing stuff from Rick Ross and Soldier Boy. But Nelly, they added, saying F you to the black community by publicly supporting a man that makes it clear he doesn't like us nor care about us is insane. Another individual chimed in with, I had to unfollow Nelly, Ashanti, and Snoop all in one day. I don't support people who participate in or support Donald Trump in any way. In addition to Nelly, rapper Snoop Dogg has also faced backlash for his involvement in Trump's inaugural ball. Now, I'm going to back out of this because I did want to play a brief video of Nelly addressing this. So here is Nelly voicing his response to some of the criticism that he's received for electing to perform at this event.
You said you're honored to perform. You joined the ranks of Frank Sinatra, Beyonce, and others who have performed at presidential balls. I guess tell me about some of the backlash that you're facing for that. You've kind of brushed it off. There are some haters out there, but you brushed it off.
Yeah, I mean, I've been catching haters my whole career. You know what I mean? Like, I always try to think forward, and I also try to trust in myself in a sense of when I truly believe that I'm doing what's right, and I truly believe that I have a plan to help get things done. You know what I mean? And from that instinct, even in the beginning, like I've been getting backlash since '04. when I decided I wanted to do a song with Tim McGraw. You know what I mean? When I decided in 2004, when it was kind of unheard of. Now you look at some of the artists that's come along as Shabuzi. If you look at what the Queen, Beyonce has been able to do with Cowboy Carter. You know, I did it in '04 when people had a lot of words to say about it. And you would say that I was catching backlash then. But it was forward thinking because I always try to stay positive and think that what I'm doing is in the best interest of uniting.
Are you optimistic about President Trump?
All right, so there's Nelly who decided to unmute and give his 2 cents because a lot of people are upset. I can't even even Ashanti is catching strays. People are deactivating fan pages because Ashanti fan pages are being deactivated across social media because Nelly decided to perform at Trump's crypto ball. So what do you make of this whole situation? What do you make of the backlash and Nelly, basically saying, hey man, this is the reason why I'm doing this, and take it or leave it?
Well, I'm not surprised for one. I'm not surprised that he's catching backlash. I'm not surprised that any person, any black person is going to catch heat for being anything affiliated with Trump or Republicans at this point. Everybody is so steadfast in their beliefs. So at this juncture of extremisms going on in the political arena, I'm not surprised. I would love to see this much enthusiasm, this much vitriol for non-celebrities, things that are actual things that people should be boycotting, protesting, and unfollowing. I would like to see that same energy for something, that actually matters, but not giving Nelly his impressions anymore on his social media platforms, that's not really going to hurt him. That's not really, I don't know who these people think they're hurting by doing this thing. He doesn't make money off you anymore anyway. So Nelly's making his money in various channels that's no longer really tied to, again, social media algorithm stuff. So unfollowing him, leaving, scathing messages on X, you're not really harming the guy, to be honest. He's picked a lane long time ago outside of hip hop, and he's channeled that money. He's channeled that energy to get him money in different lanes. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind. Like he said, that this is just, water off his back. And he's just going to let this ride out. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that the people are heated, because when are they not? But I would like to say, again, I would like to see this level of energy kept towards other things, and boycott other stuff that actually damn matters. So, yeah, that's just my initial thoughts with this. Just water under the bridge for me and Nelly, I would say. But what are your thoughts, man, on Nelly, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Rick Rose? What's your boy, Soldier Boy? Tell him, catching heat for performing at Trump's inaugurations.
Soldier Boy is my boy. Yeah, I get if Drake is your boy, then Soldier Boy can be mine. Yeah. At this point, like you, I'm not surprised, but that doesn't mean that I'm not slightly frustrated, because people will say, well, it's because of Trump specifically. They say he hates black people. He hates immigrants. He hates women. He hates Hispanic people. He hates he's just a hater across the board, right? He hates everything. So he just represents something that needs to be reprimanded in the world. There should be zero tolerance for the archetype of a human that he represents. And if and if that were the case, then I'd say, okay, fine. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but I can concede that, because his behavior at times has been a bit unbecoming, especially when you consider the ideal way that one would conduct themselves behaviorally when it comes to occupying that particular seat.
Mhm.
But, this isn't the first time I've heard this, independent of this particular individual. Speaking of Trump, I remember years and years ago, this was years ago. I want to say when this was either when somebody fact checked me on this, because I'm not sure what year specifically this took place, but it was either Bush going up against John Kerry or like Obama going up against either Mitt Romney or McCain. I don't remember which one it was, but years and years ago, Tiger Woods was asked about this. It was a PGA Tour event, and he got asked a politically adjacent question. What do you think about people who feel this way about this candidate and blah blah blah? And Tiger Woods essentially echoed what Nelly said, which is regardless of who you voted for or how you feel about your own personal politics, at a certain level, there needs to be a respect for the office and a respect for the fact that this individual is in that seat, and we're going to have to work with that person as best we can. And Tiger got destroyed for that, because essentially what he was saying was, if the Republican candidate wins, regardless of how you feel about it, we have to respect the office. And people didn't like it because they viewed that as a quasi support of a Republican. So this has been stuff that's been going on since I was like in my early years in college, maybe even before that in high school, where in public it became like ill-advised to be in support of somebody who's a Republican. Like, throughout my entire childhood, it became very clear to me that I was being conditioned to believe that Republicans were inherently the bad guys and that the Democrats were inherently the good guys, fighting on the side of righteousness, were the Democrats. So if you ever fixed your face to even think about voting for a Republican, you were a turncoat. You were going against the better judgment and voting for the bad guys, the bad people. So this to me isn't even a Trump issue. Like, I think Trump is an easy target because of his outlandish behavior, but this is the kind of sentiment that's been going on since I was in high school. I think if you replace him with any other Republican candidate or conservative, maybe the backlash won't be as loud, but the sentiment will be all the same. It'll be there. So, I really think that people feel emboldened to throw backlash at people like Nelly's way because of the fact that we're dealing with an individual like Trump. But I don't really think that this has, it has something to do with him, but I think it has more to do with the dichotomy that's been created in this country, in which we are dealing with extreme scenarios, either be on the side of righteousness and go blue, or be on the side of non-righteousness and go red. And even semi-neutral people can get caught in the crossfire as a result. I don't really think that there's anything particularly wrong with what Nelly had to say, not because there's something good about performing at events like this, but because he's right about that to a certain standpoint. Like, regardless of what your political affiliation is, there's something to be said about the office and what it means to be a part of that communal effort to celebrate someone being put into the office, whether you like the person or not. You know what I'm saying? And again, I really only think that I think that if it had gone the opposite direction and Harris would have won, there would be zero backlash, because I don't think the other people would be saying much, because, there isn't much room for the bad guy who's on the losing end of something to have much of a platform to voice their displeasure whenever popular people may perform on behalf of the good guy in the eyes of the public. So, I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like we are past the point officially. You brought up extremism in politics, and I think that is correct. I think we have gone past the point of sensibleness when it comes to how we look at these particular scenarios, and we basically just devolve it into a matter of extremism. And you're either an extremist for the good guys and you're an extremist for the bad guys. If you're an extremist for the bad guys, then we are going to scold you and publicly reprimand you for any comment or affiliation that you may make. And if you're an extremist for the good guys, then that's okay, because even though you're being dogmatic on the side of righteousness. Therefore, we'll let it pass. I personally think that whether you perform at a Democratic inaugural ball or a Republican inaugural ball, you're tap dancing. So to me, it doesn't matter what side it is. You're playing that game and you're doing that tap dancing effort, in my opinion. But I think it's convenient for people to throw backlash at people like Nelly's Way because he happens to be tap dancing for the quote unquote bad guys. When it comes to how the mainstream media and social media troll world frames this particular kind of conversation. And you can holler all day about it being a race issue if you want, and that he shouldn't have performed because Donald Trump, has no love lost for black people. But as the article stipulated, Carrie Underwood, who is the opposite of being a part of the black community, is also catching strays for deciding to sing at a Trump presidential event. So it has far less to do with race per se and identity, and it has far more to do with ideology. Although oftentimes race and ideology tend to be intertwined. So I kind of feel like people should get off Nelly's back. Either way, it's tap dancing. And people need to recognize that whether you don't like the fact that he's performing for Trump or you do like the fact that he's performing for Trump, you're engaging in a particular form of ideological extremism. And in any event, that's not okay when it comes to the public discourse. But I don't think a lot of people get that. They just see bad guy won, good guy lost. Anybody who is remotely affiliated with the bad guy, we're going to come for our pound of flesh. And we won't stop until we get enough of it. So I don't like it, but I'm also not surprised that it happened, much like yourself.
Yeah, one of these days, these people that are extreme blues, one of these days, they're going to realize that those people don't care about them either. It's astonishing that they haven't found that out yet. That's some hell of a indoctrination that has gone on for generations of people to still be in this boat of blue people good, vote blue no matter who. And if you just look at their patterns of what they've been doing since their inception, you can see that we've only been used as pawns. Same thing that they're accusing Nelly of being used as a pawn for the bad people. But we as a group have been used as political pawns by those groups of people, the blue people. And now they've moved on. They done moved on from black people. I don't know if they've noticed that, but now they don't went full blown transgender. I mean, they done moved on from gay people, low key. They're just going all the way over. And so one of these days, these people are going to realize that they're just using these fringe groups as their leverage for winning elections. And they side with these fringe groups of people, and just hoping that they can win. And when they win, they just push more extremism. So yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm pro one or anti the other. I think they both suck. So, and much like how you said, either way, no matter who's up there, all of them are tap dancing, And so yeah, one of these days, man, these people are going to see it. I'm hoping the younger generation of people can see this. The people that won't get Social Security, the people that will be replaced by robots. Hopefully the younger group of people can see the writing on the wall and see what these older generations have been missing for whatever reason. That neither one of these parties give a damn about the people. everybody's getting screwed. Grocery prices are still going to go up. Housing's still going to go up. And these people that are political career politicians, these people are going to be laughing all the way to the bank with their what do you call that, insider trading. And then everybody else is just going to keep getting screwed. So at some point, these people that's unfollowing Nelly because their feelings got hurt, because they're hanging out with a racist. One day they'll see that the people that they voted for are racist.
Exactly.
One day they'll see that. You would hope at least. So cancel me, damn it. For being anti-blue. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? You've missed the plot yet again. So I'm here to just hold up a mirror to those who are just not willing to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So open up your eyes, y'all, and just realize that unfollowing Nelly ain't gonna hurt his bottom line or nobody else that decides to hang out with Trump or whatever. So yeah, man. See the bigger picture. That's what I'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. This is not that to me. This has nothing. To me, this is not about Trump, in my opinion. I think he's an easy target because of his, like I said, I think he is an easy enough target because at times his behavior is outlandish, or the things that he says can be interpreted as outlandish. But in my entire I am almost 40 years old. Throughout my entire lifetime, the dichotomy of Democrats are good guys and Republicans are bad guys has been shoved down my throat. So whether it is John McCain, Mitt Romney, George W. Bush, or Donald Trump, the reaction from people in sight of their respective victories is all the same, which is the world is coming to an end because the bad guys are in charge now. And it's been that way my entire life. So y'all can holler foul all you want because of Donald Trump. I've been seeing this stuff my entire life. If they're a red person, if they're a Republican person or a conservative person, it's the same thing. So this to me has less to do with Trump and more to do with this extremist rhetoric and dichotomy that's been created as a result of the political landscape in this country. And it's going to go, it'll continue. In another 4 years, the next Republican is going to be branded as the bad guy who's against minorities and women and people on the spectrum and immigrants. And the blue candidate is going to be the righteous candidate that's trying to help everybody out. So none of this is going to go anywhere. And, the last thing that I'll say, and I have a very inconvenient truth that I am going to provide for all y'all out there who allow yourselves to be indoctrinated with this manifesto. You already said one aspect of it, which is these people who you have been writing for hate you just as much as the other people do. Okay, that is 1,000% true. They hate you as much as the other people do. Having said that, Trump and individuals like him aren't necessarily haters per se. These individuals despise anybody that they perceive to be a drain on the economy. Freeloaders, people who want to sit around and not contribute to society, get free stuff, look for handouts, so on and so forth. Those are the people who people like him despise and want to get rid of. Okay, now you can correlate that to race and gender and immigrant status if you want to, but the bottom line is that this is and has always been about economics. It is easy to say that it's about race or gender or ethnicity. It's not. It's about economics because they love you if you're above a particular income quotient and they despise you if you're not. So if you want to continue to believe that it's as simple as if you want to continue to believe that it's as simple as he hates me because of my skin color, he hates me because of my gender, he hates me because of my ethnicity, in my opinion, you'll continue to live in darkness, not knowing the truth of what really is going on, which is this is an economics arms race. And to that end, the individuals who you've been writing for your whole life, these blues, these Democratic people, their entire infrastructure is designed to bracket people into certain income quotients that keep them from being above the certain level where they wouldn't be perceived as drains on the economy. Like they're designed to funnel you into the workforce. So how much for you are they? Like, in my opinion, those people aren't for your community. If all they want to do is funnel you into the modern day slavery system, making you a paycheck drone, a cubicle drone, somebody who at the peak of your income earning power is going to be making what? Maybe $70,000 a year at your peak, and then you retire to nothing. That's what they want to funnel you into. I was watching the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, and the most heralded and celebrated amongst the blues, Mr. Barack Obama, who I have respect for, was talking about how one of the main initiatives that Kamala is going to spearhead in office is to fortify the middle class. Is to make it easier. His exact words were, she wants to make it easier for Americans to reach the middle class, as if that's something to aspire to. It's not. That's nothing to aspire to. And I'm not blaming Democrats on disenfranchised people or the existence thereof, but I do believe that a lot of their policies directly contribute to that particular income bracket being stagnant and growing, as opposed to decreasing because more people are escalating into the upper echelons of income and purchasing power. And in my opinion, they're against your people too, if that's where they're trying to keep you. So my point is, it's all a cesspool. But if you allow yourself to continue to be ingratiated with this indoctrinated manifesto of blue equals good and red equals bad, then you'll continue to be disappointed whenever your guy or girl into perpetuity continues to lose, because more people than not are starting to wake up and realize it ain't what I've been told, and I don't want to be a part of what it used to be. So I think people need to take heed of that and stop get out of the business of throwing backlash at people's way. And I think you need to take that red pill and get out of the matrix. I agree with you. Whether you unfollow Nelly or unfollow Ashanti's fan pages or not, I got news for people. They're going to be good. You can do it as a matter of symbolism because you're so outraged, but that doesn't impact them. I think you need to look at more pragmatic ways to exercise your voice and do it in a way that actually looks to uplift and, do good for the community, because on all fronts politically, these people are out to get you. They're not out to help you.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say, and these recording artists, they're just entertainer 304s, and they'll perform for the highest dollar, no matter who the hell it is. And if Kamala had enlisted these people to perform at the DNC, they would have did it.
Well, he said he would have been there if she would have won. Yeah.
Well, just the regular Democratic convention during the campaigns, Nelly would have did it then. You know what I'm saying? But she was too busy enlisting booty clappers. Yeah, too busy enlisting the likes of Glorilla and Meg the Stallion to shake ass to try to sell sex for an election. She was too busy doing that. You think Soulja Boy gives a damn who's in office? I mean, he may say one thing or the other, but he's going to jump when the money jumps. Same thing for Rick Ross. He don't give a damn. So these guys are 304s for the dollar, and they'll do whatever the hell. And so because their job has been to buck dance and to lead people astray any damn way. So they'll do it for anybody's check. So to get mad at 304s for doing what 304s do, I mean, you're wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? Squirrel's going squirrel, rabbit's going rabbit, and dog's going dog. And rappers are going to do what rappers do and perform whenever somebody throws money at them. And all I'm saying is, if your favorite candidate thought more highly of you, she wouldn't have hired booty clappers to sway your vote. And so yeah, man, these people out here, you can't be too invested in any of them, because they've sold themselves a long time ago. So if you were still following these people, hoping that they had some light of inspiration still in them, or some light of change and revolution, please. They're on television, and last I checked, that won't be televised. So I won't. I'm not going to lose any sleep over this. And for those people out there, I hope you guys don't. These guys are just entertainers.
Y'all need to get off the internet, man. People need to get off the internet for real. Like these aren't fitness influencers and sex workers and Instagram models. Like Nelly been making money since before social media was a thing. He's good. Perpetually, he's good. And you think that you're saying something because you're unfollowing somebody on Instagram or any of these other individuals shutting down a fan page. They probably don't even know that those fan pages exist. So people put way too much stock in this internet troll activity. Go outside and touch blades of grass. That stuff is really not as important as you think it is. It's not real life.
Mm-mm-mm.
These people crazy out here.